One of the leading commercial and business law firms, Detail Solicitors, hosted the 7th edition of its annual business series, focusing on the theme, Navigating the Evolving Real Estate Marketplace, Dealing with Market Disruption. It featured presentations from speakers like Dr. Andrew Nevin, Senior Economist, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and Mr. Sonny Ayere, CEO, Don Lauren Merrifield, covering topics on technology and alternative financing. Panelists also explored opportunities for the property market in the country in the age of technology disruption.
I really fear for the economy of the country. As I said, we need to create 4 million jobs a year. I don't know, you've all heard we've come out of recession. I mean, our view is we haven't come out of recession, right? I mean, we have population growth of 2.7% a year. We might do 2% growth in 2018. 2% growth in 2019 is what the IMF is saying. So that means we will have gone 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 with declining income per capita. Now, how many years can we go declining income per capita before we have a social calamity? I don't think too many more, and this is the single most important policy for that. We cannot see the country moving forward without getting this land registry issue organized properly. And as I said, I'd like everyone in this room to be an advocate for that, because if we don't understand it, if we don't get there, we really are going to have a social crisis.
I propose that we create a Fund 5, an additional fund, and we call that the Housing Contributors Fund. It is your money. So let's assume that you contribute 100 naira to your pension fund every month, right? Rather than the 100 naira being distributed across your Fund 1 to 4, it's now 80% to your Fund 1 to 4, which Fund 1 to 4 is they buy the bonds, whatever they buy, okay? But the Fund 5, that 20% goes into a Fund 5. That is your contribution. And then the instruction is that lend that money out at no higher than 5%. I want you to think about it. Today we say the pension funds is about what, 7-ish trillion? Let's call it 7, all right? If we made it mandatory, okay, with an opt-out, because for instance, Sean can say, I don't need a housing fund, I already have my house, so I'm opting out. So you have the right to opt out, okay? Now, but let's just, for mathematical sake, assume that everybody stays in. That is immediately 1.4 trillion available to support, right, the housing market. Pension funds will say, but why should I be investing 20% of what I'm receiving into 5%? Because it's reducing my yield because of their fee. I now said, bro, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What does everybody want? Formal, informal, whatever sector you want to call it. I need to eat, I need to clothe, and I need shelter. Okay. The informal sector of Nigeria is approximately 80% of our labor force. They don't contribute shishi into your so-called pension fund. Why? Because they don't see the benefit. If you go to any informal person and say to them, right, whether it's Anton Tajani, whatever, I'm giving you the opportunity to own your own home, right, at an interest rate that makes sense, affordable, all right, and the condition is you pay your small contribution. Even if you only get, I'm just saying, 10-20% of that informal sector, yeah, you would significantly increase funds under management. You see, so that is part of the things we're trying to do to get the cost of funds down. Of course, if interest rates in Nigeria should ever drop to single digit, then you don't need that anymore. Exactly. But the beauty about it is that it's actually sustainable and it can work. And it's one way of actually galvanizing the sector, both from the construction side and also from the demand side.
Dr. Andrew Nevin and Mr. Sonny Ayere give further perspectives to the issues around repositioning real estate in Nigeria.
So blockchain, it just means it's a distributed ledger, so everyone is seeing the same version of the truth. So it would mean that the tenants know, the terms on which they're renting, the mortgage provider knows, Lagos State, for example, Lagos knows, and they know they're getting their taxes. The mortgage holder knows if the mortgage gets sold or securitized, that's on the blockchain. So everyone's always working with the same view of the information. And unless you have that, it's difficult to see how real estate can really develop. So we're advocating that not only do we have a great land registry in Lagos, but we also blockchain enable it right from the beginning. So it's a little bit like leapfrogging. We've leapfrogged in other areas in Africa. This is an area where we can leapfrog again.
Like I said, the things we're working on, NMRC, MWFL, bringing interest rates down, getting the right title system in place so that it's easy for people to have the title and also easy to actually move title from one buyer to another. I think if you put all that, and then obviously the final thing, construction funding. And I'm hoping that the Family Homes Fund can actually focus on that. So when you have the Family Homes Fund focusing on construction, you have Mortgage Warehouse focusing on offtake, and you have NMRC focusing on the long end, you've created an ecosystem. Add to that a tightened system that works, right? Building standards that make sense, okay? And then an interest rate structure that brings interest rates to affordability levels, then you've got a housing market.
Tosin Ajose, head of real estate detail solicitors, shared the purpose of the forum and gave a recap of the discourse.
We think that Nigeria cannot be isolated from the global trends in the real estate market, and we just felt that it was apt time for us to begin to talk about the things that are changing and the way that the real estate environment is changing, so that people are well positioned to be able to benefit from disruptions as opposed to it wrecking people's businesses, that people get ample information about what is happening, about when Nigeria will get there and how Nigeria will get there, and how to ensure that they don't find themselves on the wrong side of the divide. And I think it has been a very good session. We started off with Andrew Nevin from PricewaterhouseCoopers, who took us through the changes in the market. He talked a lot about blockchain and about digital financing and how it is impacting the global real estate market. We also had Mr. Sonny Ayere, who talked about alternative financing and the things that are keeping us away, in the market from being able to enjoy and experience, some of these things that are already happening globally, and what we need to do as a country to get there. I think that's important. He also talked about the things that we are getting right. So we have the Mortgage Warehouse Funding Limited, which has already been set up. He also spoke about the NMRC and what the NMRC is doing. He talked about some of the issues that we still have with interest rates, and the fact that some of these things are tied to fiscal and monetary policy, and that we expect that government will take a more progressive view and role in ensuring that we fix the regulations so that the market can deepen and progress.
The Nigerian real estate space provides immense opportunities for driving massive economic activities. It is expected that the issues of land registry, adopting technology to improve the property market, mortgage provisions, alternative sources of financing, and reliable data will be addressed in the sector.